You carry a piece of your husband with you all the time, even though he's all the way in Afghanistan. Tell us more about that.
So my husband deployed a little around a year ago. He's been gone for almost a year. And when he deployed, he knew he couldn't wear his wedding band. So I've been wearing it every day since he's left. We don't get to talk every day, unfortunately, but I always have a piece of him wherever I go, whether I'm traveling for my business or whether I'm sitting at home or sitting behind my desk in an office. I have him with me, and that helps me feel closer to him, even if I don't have that opportunity to talk to him today or tomorrow or a week from now.
So what are some of the challenges you faced as a military spouse?
So often finding a career is about who you know. So moving to a new place, not knowing a single soul, and then starting to apply for jobs is kind of an unknown process. And especially for us, where we were stationed in San Diego, which was a huge city with tons of opportunities. And then we moved to Gulfport, Mississippi, which obviously doesn't have as much industry, not as many businesses. So I had very large gaps on my resume when we finally decided to transition out. But I think it made me stronger, definitely taught me resilience. It's a humbling process, but you gain so much in the process too.
The biggest personal struggle I had was employment. So I went to school late. I didn't go to college until after I got married. And then when I was ready to start work, I was in a location where I couldn't find employment. And then there were times where I wanted to be at home because I knew that we were only going to be there for 10 or 14 months. And was it really worth it for me to go get a job when I could be at home and really be engaged in my kids' life at that time? So I've had different opportunities. My resume, just like a lot of other military spouses, is very patchwork. But now to have the opportunity to be able to give back to my family and be part of the breadwinning, equation in our future is really rewarding to me. I feel that the experiences that I've had over the last 29 years as a military spouse has really put me in a position to be where I'm at today.
Your work centers on military spouses finding balance and clarity, reducing stress,
Right.
increasing success. So let's focus on 3 different areas and give us the popular advice that you provide: military life, emotional wellness, and business advice.
So military life, this life is an opportunity if you choose to see it that way. I would encourage spouses not to look at it as a burden. Just because so much is in the control of someone else does not mean that you don't have control of your life. You can take control just in different ways, and that's a learning curve. Learning how to do that is part of the challenge, but it's also part of the reward. Because as you move forward, you'll grow as a person, and you'll be a different person tomorrow than you were today.
Emotional wellness.
Emotional wellness, well, that one is one we could talk about for days. But emotional wellness, I think, we don't take care of ourselves enough. We don't do the things we know we should do. And in order to be emotionally well, you have to deal with your feelings. And pretending they don't exist is like kryptonite. It will literally take you down faster than anything else. And I think the biggest piece of emotional wellness is the stress relief. Make sure that you have ways to relieve the stress in your life, because if you don't do that, it will creep up on you and really hurt you.
Lastly, business advice.
Business advice, you can really and truly run a business as a military spouse. And I encourage you, if you have a dream, to find ways and people that have done it and pick their brain. Find a mentor. I think that is the key to having a business, and quit reinventing the wheel. There are some great organizations and companies that are doing great things that you may be a perfect fit for, or you can provide a service to fill a hole they have. Find the thing that isn't being done. I started as a blogger and a talker, and there are plenty of military spouse bloggers and talkers that, honestly, they're probably way better than I am. But I took that niche of the emotional side of military life instead of the logistics and carved a place for my message.
For military spouses who are watching, what kind of advice would you want them to walk away from after listening to this interview?
There's no one right way to be a military spouse. Be yourself. And you have things that you're going to do great, and you have things that you're just going to screw up. That's just the reality of it. And that's okay. If you look at it like that, then you look for people that have your strengths or you have theirs, and then you work together and you're stronger together. So find that tribe, find those battle buddies, and find those people that can support you as you move through the challenges.
What's your message to other military spouses?
I would say that to other military spouses that you are so much stronger than you think you are. So many times I had friends and family say, how do you do this? How do you go 6 months without seeing your husband? How do you move to a new place where you've never been before and know no one? And through the process, you realize that you are so much stronger than you think you are, and you have a strength inside you that you would never know that you had until you're tested. So to truly just be yourself and believe in yourself and know that you've got this. And on the days that you don't have it, because you absolutely will have days where you do not have it, there is an enormous amount of support and an enormous amount of resources that are there to help you along the way.